Being alone forever is a significant fear for many people. The idea of dining alone at a fancy restaurant, sleeping in a cold bed, or living in a quiet, empty house with no one to share your joys and sorrows can be daunting. It's the fear of being unloved and unwanted, and it can feel overwhelming. If you're single, you may have experienced this feeling, and it's entirely normal. It's even expected in a world that is obsessed with romantic relationships. These fears are reinforced everywhere, in the movies we watch, the songs we hear, and even in social and political discussions. One of the most common insults thrown around is, "You'll never find love." This mentality is why many people stay in relationships that aren't right for them, believing that being with anyone is better than being alone. But what if we could shift our mindset about being single and focus on its positive aspects? Here's why you should embrace single life. Accepting life without a romantic partner is not easy. But if you're honest and intentional with yourself, you can create a fulfilling life. You can find happiness on your own, which might even be easier than finding the right partner. The first thing to remember is that being single doesn't equate to being alone or lonely. You can have meaningful relationships with family and friends that fulfill you emotionally. Sharing your life with loved ones doesn't have to involve romance. There's an unspoken expectation that romantic partners must be everything to us: best friends, counselors, caregivers, and providers. However, these roles can be filled by different people in your life. In fact, spreading your support network across multiple individuals may be healthier. It's unrealistic to expect one person to meet all your needs and desires. This expectation often leads to burnout in relationships, where one party feels overwhelmed by the emotional burden. By learning to share these roles and expand your support network, you'll be better prepared for life's challenges and less likely to feel lonely. Even if one relationship is struggling, many people in relationships feel lonely because they place all their expectations on one person. When those expectations aren't met, they feel alienated and alone. This sense of loneliness can be more profound than the loneliness of being single, because you're not supposed to feel lonely in a partnership. The shame and guilt of feeling lonely in a relationship add to the burden. Sharing this feeling with others can be difficult because friends and family might not understand, reminding you of the good times and insisting that all relationships require hard work. The belief that being lonely together is better than being alone keeps many in unhappy relationships. If more people viewed single life positively, there would be less pressure to stay in unsatisfying relationships. Being in a relationship doesn't guarantee you'll become your best self. Yet society pressures us to conform to romance, as it is the central theme in countless movies, novels, and TV shows. We are constantly told that love will complete us and that we're incomplete on our own. Society favors couples, making life more economical when you have someone to share expenses with. Beyond financial benefits, a spouse or partner holds a special status in your life, seen as an extension of yourself. Without a partner, friends and family might see your life as incomplete. Regardless of your personal achievements, everything might be going well for you, but without a partner, you may be perceived as a failure. Friends and family might pressure you to find someone, making you believe that being single is not a viable option. However, there are many ways to live a happy life, and it's essential to know what it feels like to be happy on your own. While the world isn't set up to support single people, there are significant benefits to being single. When you're single, you have complete control over your life choices. Want to move to a new city or change careers? You can do so without considering a partner's needs or desires. You can take risks and pursue what you truly want without feeling guilty about its impact on someone else. Even small decisions like how you decorate your house, what time you wake up, and what you eat for dinner are entirely up to you. This kind of freedom and independence doesn't come easy with a partner, even with the best communication. Being single forces you to address any dependency issues you might have. It allows you to develop a sense of self and figure out what you want out of life. As an adult, singleness is often the first opportunity to experience this. As children, our choices are made for us. And as young adults, the school system controls much of our time. If you move straight from that phase into a series of relationships, you'll never know what it's like to live an uninfluenced life. While some might be fine with this, it can hinder your growth as an independent adult. Singleness offers the chance to get to know yourself when no one's watching. You gain trust in your ability to make the right choices for yourself. Don't deny yourself the opportunity for self-discovery. An extended period free from romance helps you tune into your emotions. You learn to listen to yourself without the distractions a partner brings. Understanding your desires and values, you learn to comfort yourself in stressful times. Take care of yourself and enjoy your own company. However, being single also has its downsides. I don't want to paint an overly romantic picture of single life. Even with great friends and family, being single can still be lonely. Your loved ones have their own commitments and may not always prioritize you. You might want to vent after a tough day, but find your friends too busy. Managing chores and life tasks alone can be challenging. There's also the craving for emotional and physical intimacy that most of us have, even if only occasionally. Someone to buy you flowers or make you coffee in the morning. In a relationship, it's easy to blame problems on your partner. When you're single, there's no one else to blame. You have to take responsibility for your life, both the good and the bad. If something is making you miserable, you're the one who needs to change it. The difficulties of living alone can lead people to unsatisfactory relationships. Scrolling through dating apps, seeking casual sex, or finding comfort in awkward situationships can be coping mechanisms for loneliness. While finding yourself in unfulfilling romantic entanglements isn't the end of the world, using others to shield ourselves from our insecurities is a temporary fix. Intentional singleness requires courage. It means you're willing to explore yourself deeply, facing whatever you find. It can be an act of self-love, spending time with yourself and letting your thoughts and actions guide your life. Your sense of worth, desirability, and validation must come from within. This work can't be fast-tracked. Through a few months of being single, between relationships, it might take years to realize you're better off alone, or that you prefer being single over being with someone you don't love. You might even reach a point where you choose to remain single forever, but this time, it comes with a sense of excitement and liberation rather than despair. If you're in a loving relationship, don't take this as a reason to break up. Relationships have their merits, and everyone wants different things from life. Dating can be fun, and every relationship is an opportunity to learn more about yourself, albeit through someone else's lens. Plus, you might fall in love and find the perfect partner who complements you, spending the rest of your life together. There's no single template for life. Staying single for a while doesn't mean ignoring your desire for a future relationship. It's an opportunity to find satisfaction despite that desire. It's about recognizing who you are when you're alone, and the kind of person who could complement you. After spending time alone, you'll value yourself and your time more, knowing that it's only worth being in a relationship if it supports who you truly are. True compatibility is hard to find, and the mysteries of attraction are complex. After time alone, if you meet someone who adds to your life, they can love the person you've become. To be single doesn't mean you have to stay single forever if that's not what you want. It's a chance to understand yourself better, learn the value of your time, and recognize that you shouldn't settle for just anyone for companionship. It's also about not getting so wrapped up in yourself that you close off any chance at love. Finding happiness on your own is crucial, but sharing it with another person can also be meaningful. As the saying goes, happiness held is the seed, happiness shared is the flower. Don't grip your single life so tightly that you miss out on the right person when they come along. Open your hand, invite them into your world, and don't be afraid to spend time in theirs. If what you've built is stable, you can always return. And that confidence makes for the best relationships. Only when you've nurtured your seed of happiness will it be ready to bloom when someone comes along to water it. Love is truly complex, Watch the next video to learn more about it.